in with Martin Montgomery, St Anthony's manager, after today's 3-1 loss away to Bellshill. Martin, disappointing day at the office. What's your take on it?
Well, you had the nail on the head, didn't you, with it being disappointing. I think my main feeling at the moment is probably frustration. You know, we're talking a lot about, you know, bad luck and not getting a rub of the green and all this sort of stuff, and I get that, but I sort of spoke to the boys at the day and said there comes a point where we can't keep playing that card, and we've got to be better, and we've got to, you know, I know it's all cliche, but you make your own luck in this game, and I think the last 2 weeks, in terms of the goals that we've lost for everything that we've put into both games, the key word is frustration. You know, it's coming from very, very simple things. You know, it's lapses in concentration, failure to communicate properly, and that's what's really eating me up at the moment. I think if you look at the game today, you know, we knew we were in for a tough test today, and we come out and if I'm totally honest, although it's a penalty, I think maybe 25 minutes into the game, Bellshill are worth the lead. They're the better side. You know, we show a wee bit of character and we start to come into the game, and I thought we ended the half very, very strongly and deserved to go in, you know, all square. We score at a good time, we go in, we make a wee tweak to personnel, we identify some of the things that we think we can maybe be doing a wee bit better in terms of, you know, starting positions and a couple of other wee bits and bobs, and when we came out in the second half, I think we're a far better team in the early stages of the second half. You know, I feel we've got the ascendancy. You've got that feeling if there's a goal coming, it feels like it's going to be an Ants goal. We force a couple of saves at the goalie, and, you know, a couple of corners, set pieces, various different things. And then, you know, what probably should have been a chance for us, a wee bit of miscommunication, the ball breaks up the park, and I just feel we get caught a wee bit flat-footed in the middle. We're not strong enough, our position's no good for the transition, and the ball breaks, and obviously fair play to Bellshill to take full advantage. And then of course you can talk about, you know, the second goal that comes for a deflection, but again, you know, alright, the deflection's maybe a wee bit of bad luck for us, but I think you've got to look at the transition before that, and the shot should never be happening in the first place if we deal with it better. So I think for me that's where the frustration creeps in, and that goal probably takes the wind out of our sail a wee bit, but we're still in it. And then when you look at the third goal, you know, just that's very, very, I would call it schoolboy stuff. It's a failure for anybody to take the bull by the horns, and, you know, just take a bit of ownership, a bit of better communication, and somebody just empty it out of there, and we get caught, and then, you know, before you know it, it's 3-1, and there's a contest that kind of feels done at that point. You know, we keep battling to the end, but it never ever really looked like we were going to get back into it with the time we had left in the game at that point. So if I'm honest, really, really frustrated, because I feel that, you know, we're getting into these games, they're very much end to end and eachy peachy, and, you know, nobody's dominating us, nobody's cutting us open. The goals that we're conceding are coming from our own individual errors and lapses in concentration, and I think that's what's really eating me up a wee bit at the moment.
And how do we go about rectifying that for next week's game?
Listen, we're drilling it into them. It's a big part of my team talk before the games and at half time about, you know, the need to do the simple things right and remain switched on at all times. You know, a microsecond's enough switched off for him, and it's enough for you to be punished, and that's been shown already, that, you know, when you're playing at this level, teams will punish you when you make mistakes and you're not switched on. So, you know, I wish I could give you a short answer on how you fix that. I think we've just got to keep working on it and keep trying to improve every week, and hopefully at some point the penny drops. You know what I mean? I think the worst thing about it is, you know, I stood here and spoke to you, Martin, a few weeks ago after the Yoker game, and that was one of the things that we really felt that structurally we'd strengthened up, and we weren't as easy to score against and easy to break down, and I suppose in a certain way that's still the case, but it's the concentration and the decision making, I think, in certain areas of the pitch, and as I say already, if you're not on it for every second of every game, there's every chance that you're going to get punished, and unfortunately for us, over the last couple of weeks, that's what happened.
We're back at McKenna Park next week.
Aye.
That'll be a welcome
Aye.
return.
Yep, aye. I spoke to the boys a wee bit about that today. You know, listen, it's another game today, and nothing was ever going to be decided on the day's game. You know, we're now 7 games in, you know, in terms of the final third of the season that we've been on board. You know, we came in knowing that we had 8 games away and only 4 at home, and listen, the parks and the facilities are the same for both teams. You know, we're not making any excuses here, but you know, any manager will tell you you want a wee few home games in there, just to try and sort of give you that wee edge. So we have been missing that a wee bit. It's been a long 5 weeks. You know, we've won the 1 home game that we played, and we managed to pick up some points on the road. But you know, I think getting into this last 5 games, in terms of 3 of them being at McKenna Park, and even the ones that we're going away to, probably, you know, maybe pitches that maybe going to suit us that wee bit better. We're quite optimistic that we can go and have a go at teams, and you know, this one never went our way today, but you know, the things that we need to tidy up and fix, if we can do that, then I've got every confidence that we can pick up the points that we need. But the reality of the situation is, we have to start picking up points, and we have to start picking them up fast, because you know, the games are dwindling away, and the opportunities to get ourselves into a safe position are disappearing with every passing week. So you know, that was pretty much what I says to the boys after the game. Look, lads, we have to take our medicine, we have to take it in the chin. We get in on Monday night, we work hard, we prepare, and we get ready for Lanark at home against at McKenna Park on Saturday.
Cheers, Marty.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.